my hemorrhoids.
And we're live.
Hello.
Wow, what a way to say hello.
Welcome to Chatting Tracks.
Chatting Sounds.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Chatting Sounds.
Chatting Sounds and the Hemorrhoid Show.
That's right. A conglomerate of Chatting Tracks with Robbie Burgess and Unknown Sounds with me, Pete Saxer.
Oh, right. So anyway, welcome to
I was just making a joke. I don't really have that. I'm not that old or pregnant.
Anyway, welcome to the stream. This is our third one, our fourth. I can't remember how many we've done now.
50, 60, something like that.
Yeah, well, I was only 12 when we started. Now look at us. Yeah. Anyway, so as tradition, we'll start the show as we normally do. What have you been listening to this week?
Well, I listened to this pretty cool album here. Have you ever heard of this one?
Yeah.
It's by Courtney Love, right? Mm-hmm. Her band Hole, Live Through This.
Yeah.
Quite a good album. I like it. I don't like Courtney herself, but I do like this album. I think it's got a lot of rockin' tunes on it. It's pretty gritty, really good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it was released in the beginning of April. I think it was April 5th, 1994.
Right.
And of course, 7 days later, what happened?
Was it Kurt died?
Yeah, Kurt died. So I think these two things are connected.
Yeah.
Now there's one of two possibilities. The first one is that he wrote the songs on this album, and Courtney was afraid that he would admit that. So, you know, that was it. Or the other thing was that he was so distraught that it was such a fantastic album that he didn't want his wife to surpass him and Nirvana. So he just offed himself. So I think that's probably what happened.
Wow. Is it Celebrity Skin? Is that on that?
Celebrity Skin is on here. No, it's not. You've got Doll Parts, which I love. Miss World, Asking for It, which Kurt sang backing vocals on with no credit.
Right.
Yeah, it's really, really great stuff. Yeah, she's really gritty in it. Well,
I know Billy Corrigan from the Smashing Pumpkins was writing a lot of stuff around that time and giving her a lot of stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So I think, is it Celebrity Skin, the song? Roll Me Over.
Yeah, Celebrity Skins, yeah.
Yeah, so he apparently on the demo you can really hear he's on it, and she said she wrote it and stuff like that.
Oh right, yeah.
I don't know how controversial I had to get with all that stuff, but yeah, apparently he wrote pretty much that album, and it was their most successful one.
Well, of course, the whole band says no, you know, it had nothing to do with it. They wrote it themselves and all that. But of course they're going to say it, but it doesn't matter. It was a great album anyway. Yeah.
It's really great. Just for anyone that's watching, by the way, hello and welcome to the stream. If you want to get in contact with us while we're live, just message on whatever system you're watching us on, and it pops up, and we can say hello, and we can talk to you live as well. And if you just want to wave and say hi, do that, and we'll put the messages on the screen as well, because it's what this is about, isn't it, Pete? It's all about
That's right. It's all about community, you know, getting together, talking about music, and we want you guys to be involved as well. So come on, have your say.
That's what it's about. So I've been listening to the fabulous Who's Next by The Who. So they've just released a box set of this, and this was something I thought we might touch on real quick. It turns out that the new box, so do you know about Lifehouse? Have you heard of what Lifehouse was and stuff like that?
No.
So to make this album, Pete Townshend had an idea what they were going to do. They were going to live in a theatre, and they wanted to say all communal, and then they would write songs, put on plays, like a big arts community living in a theatre pretty much. That's basically the rough idea. Anyway, he lasted about 3 days and it didn't work. I mean, could you live with people for 3 days?
Yeah.
And there was different influences coming in. They were using different subjects,
of course,
subjects and substances and stuff. So anyway, out of it came this album. So some of the tracks are on the Lifehouse demos and stuff like that. And this is basically the album that was made from those parts. They've just released the box set recently and they've remastered it. It sounds amazing. But my question is, the extras are 9 hours long. This is a 9-hour box set.
Wow.
So, you know, to people outside watching and yourself, Pete, do you think 9 hours is too much? So would you rather the question is, would you rather had a couple of albums with all the extras on it that you buy separately, or would you rather have a 9-hour box set complete?
Good question. I don't think you need the 9 hours at all. You know, the reason, seriously, they made their album. You know, they decided what they want on and what they don't want on, you know?
Yeah.
There was some geek in the corner saying, oh, let's save this. And when, you know, we'll make some money on it later. We don't need that stuff.
I mean, so you wouldn't want, I mean, it's a pretty good extras kit. This obviously isn't it. But you've got like 2 live concerts that are really good, actually. You've got pretty much a lot of the Lifehouse sessions. You've got all the demos of this album as well. Like so, Behind Blue Eyes, the demo version, things like that, with Pete singing on it and stuff like that. So it's a bit one of the weird ones. Like with the Beatles box sets, I could have 9 hours of those quite happily and not worry about it.
Yeah.
But then, am I just doing that because I want it because it's the Beatles? I've got a lot of the box sets back there that came out, and I only listened to probably 2 of the discs like regularly. So.
Yeah.
Is it too much is the question, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you guys think? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments and we can read it out and stuff like that. It'd be great to see what you think. PD, okay, so over to you because you want to do some stuff.
All right, you know what? I want to play a video right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's from the show Unknown Sounds, where we only play independent bands and solo artists who send us their music. And Ian from outside of Birmingham, sent us this video. It's really great. His band is called... his musical project, because it's mostly just him, is the Humdrum Express, and they are nowhere near Humdrum. They're really exciting. This is off their album. Now let me get this right. It's an unusual name. It's the Ultra-crepidarian Soup. Now, for those
Coffee and cake culture, new vape flavours, Waistcoat Wednesday, competitive savers, Black Friday, white noise, ignoring Blue Planet, watching Mrs. Brown's Boys, and sales are booming of motivational war art. The gift of the gab, no listening attribute, practicing a power stance in a Teflon suit. The mediocre with mass YouTube subscribers. What's for tea? Microwaved microfibers. Sales are booming of motivational war art. Transfer deadline failings, fuel abusive chants, resting on laurels, tending hardy plants. We're all innocent till rumours are rife, and the views of singers I once liked say nothing to me about my life. Political U-turns, a tactical false 9. Trends for big eyebrows will be frowned upon in time. Diverting tactics, feigning surprise. Ultra-crepidarians are on the rise, and sales are booming of motivational war arts. Under false impressions, we're unearthed. Another minute's silence, impeccably observed. A celebratory tattoo so it won't be forgotten. The battle of the egos, from the top to the bottom. Gig goers watch through handheld devices, can't afford a drink at sponsored venue prices, uneven paving, irate shoppers, nightclub toilet selfies, patriotic litter droppers, coming in to bowl the spin masters, misinforming that an ice bucket challenge could help in global warming, cigars for the fast food chain tycoons, golden handshakes for silver spoons. The ref's looked at his watch, full time's closing in, he's got 2 single-use razors for his double chin. Low expectations in high demand, polluted beaches, heads in the sand, and sales are booming of motivational war art. Sales are booming of motivational war art. Sales are booming of motivational war art. Sales are booming.
Lovely. That was motivational wall art from Crepidarian, Ultra-crepidarian Soup, his album. You can get him on Bandcamp and all that. I think the guy's really amazing. He's got a lot of witty banter in there and a lot of cultural references.
Yeah.
And of course, the overwhelming theme about global warming and climate change.
It's amazing. It's almost like if David Bowie and Madness did a song together. It's a bit like very Bowie-esque at the start there, and it was very sort of like very Madness at the end there. So hello to Paul from the Fish Mittens, by the way.
Oh, cool, mate. It's kind of a stream of consciousness as well. I like those lyrics.
Yeah, and the global warming stuff. It's really interesting stuff. Yeah,
he's a really talented guy. He's really great. I just noticed, mate, I love our new Chatting Sounds logo. It's lovely. You must have spent a lot of money on that.
Who made that, Pete, by any chance?
Yeah, that was my first go. So yeah, I'm proud of it. And I think it's great. I think it really merges the two shows that we have together. So it's nice. It's
fantastic. If I can indulge for a minute, I did an interview the other day and I'd love to share a bit if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Thanks, mate. I interviewed a guy, sound very smashing nice. Thanks, mate. Interviewed a guy called Chris Welsh. Now, Chris Welsh, for people that don't know him, was a journalist for NME for the 60s, 70s and 80s. And there wasn't anybody he didn't speak to. He spoke to Mark Boland. He knew David Bowie very well. Iron Maiden. He was a big champion of Maiden, all these sorts of people as well. But he was telling me about, he was good friends with Led Zeppelin. And he was telling me about when he met Led Zeppelin and he interviewed. So this is all available on this channel. So if you subscribe, you can find the interview. And if it's subscribed to Pete, you got those videos as well. But if it's all right, I'm just going to play a clip of me speaking to him the other day about Led Zeppelin and John Bonham. I won't make us disappear. I'll just put us in the corner. All right.
Okay.
John Bonham, I first saw playing with Led Zeppelin, then called, it was still called the New Yardbirds at the Marquee. And I'd heard all about, Jimmy Page had told me about this new band he was forming. He came into the office. Can you imagine that? They all came up to see me in the office to tell me about their new bands after Cream and Hendrix Experience. Now it was Led Zeppelin. And I said, what's the name of the band? And he said, it's called Led Zeppelin. And I wrote it down in my notebook. He said, no, you spelled it wrong. It's L-E-D, not L-E-A-D. So Jimmy told me off immediately.
So yeah, he's a lovely guy, and the interview was about an hour, and I could have spoke to him for about 6 hours. You know, like he just had so many tales.
Yeah,
and probably one of the loveliest person I've ever met as well. And it was hard because I wanted him to tell me a load of anecdotes, but I didn't want it to become that sort of episode.
Right? Yeah. He's quite a name dropper, isn't he? Though. That guy.
Well, terrible, isn't it? When you know all these famous people.
It's great to get this stuff down on tape, because those days are fading fast.
Yeah, definitely. I asked him a question. I said, "Do you think music journalism is important nowadays?" And he said, "No." And I sort of said, "Like, why?" He said, "Because you can, just go to the internet now, find out all about the band and the history and things like that, and you can do things in the same sort of vein." So I was like, I understand that. He said, but people still want to talk about music and share music and understand it and find out about it. And I think he's absolutely right. Yeah. And it's just lovely. Like, we do our little podcast show / live stream and we get to talk about music in the same sort of vein. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Hello to Unorthodox as well.
Yeah, that's Brian. He's the lead singer from Unorthodox. We're going to play one of his songs a bit later. Thanks for joining us, Brian. You too, Paul from Fish Mittens. You guys are coming up soon.
They are indeed, yeah. So yeah, it's just it was a great interview. If you want to check it out, just subscribe, and there's all the videos on there, reaction videos and stuff as well.
Yeah, mate, you've got a lot of really great videos on your YouTube channels. I hate to, I know you got a big head and everything, but I have to admit, yeah, they're really good. And I've listened to a lot, since you, because I had nothing to compare it with, but not only are you interesting and you're very passionate about the subject, which is great. But your technical bits are fantastic, because I've listened to a lot of podcasts. You can't listen because they sound so bad, But you got it spot on. It's really, really well done, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's just, when you're trying to do something that's like, I got offered Gary Kemp from Spandau Ballet, and I thought I could have him on, but what would I ask him that nobody's asked him in the last 40 years? And there's nothing. So I didn't get him on.
No, there is one question that no one's ever heard from him.
Go on.
What's his favorite color?
What was your bike?
If you're an animal,
But yeah, so I thought, I won't have him on.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Whereas I like people like Chris Welsh because people don't talk to him often. I interviewed the other day, which is coming out very soon, a guy called Tim Staffle, and he was really lovely as well. And he was the guy that, to cut a long story short, he left a band called Smile. Freddie Mercury joined, and then they became Queen.
That's right. Yeah.
And he was the guy before, and he was really lovely. We were talking about his career because he did have a very varied career. He was also doing animation for Thomas the Tank Engine.
Wow.
So
very varied. So when he was in Smile, was he the vocalist?
He was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he did the track "Doing All Right," which is on Queen's first album. Freddie did it obviously on the album. I think the original Smile version is better. I know I'm going to pee a lot of Queen fans off, but it's a more coherent song. It doesn't, like, Brian kicks in far too heavy on the Queen version, and there's a lot going on. It's too sharp, whereas this is a bit more of a mellow, flowing kind of song, if you know what I mean. Cool. Look, when I thought about it, I thought Thomas the Tank Engine, that's Ringo Starr, and he was always in Queen. So that's almost a Queen Beatles mashup. They did that.
The closest we'll get.
I know. Anyway, should we play some music? I was talking.
No. I want to talk about something else, if you don't mind.
Oh, go on. Sorry, go on.
My wife and I went into London. Went to Islington the other night. We went to the Hope and Anchor pub, which, by the way, that happens to be where our live gig is happening on November 5th. We got tickets. Anyway, we went there because there was a book launch. It was this book. It was called Before It Went Rotten. By Simon Matthews, all about pub rock.
Wow.
Which I don't really know anything about it, so I was interested in going. So I thought it would be in the first floor or the second floor, depending on if you're American or British, in the theater up there. It wasn't. It was actually in the basement where the stage is, where we're going to have the show. There were no seats, mate. There were 2 seats. Luckily, Dawn and I got in early and grabbed the seats. 3 hours long. Who's going to stand for that? In music, it's different because, you're going to dance around and stuff. But listening to an interview is a little bit different. But it was really interesting. And actually, that's the Hope and Anchor pub on the cover too.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. It's really great. Get a free book when you went as well. It was great, and they had 2 guests which they interviewed for the book as well. One of them was what's his name, Horace from the Darts. I don't know if people remember that. I didn't know the Darts. I'd listened to some of their stuff afterwards. He says they've been going on for 45 years. They're still going strong and everything. It's really weird because it's like a Shawady band.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's unusual. He plays clarinet and saxophone on there. And then the other guy on there was Bobby Valentino from the Fabulous Poodles.
Right.
And again, I hadn't heard them, but I listened to them, and that was really great stuff. It's like new wave, really cool stuff. And they made it pretty big. They went to America. They opened up for Dire Straits, a lot of different bands. They've done really, really well. So it was very interesting. It was all about bands that were in pubs between 1972 and 1976. It wasn't a genre. It was just an era, because it was after the classic rock, big stadium things, and before punk rock.
Yeah.
And it was also because of the economy of the country. People didn't really move around. Lots of unemployment. Petrol prices went through the roof, so bands didn't travel to go on gigs, so they just did their local pubs. In fact, a lot of them went to pubs that weren't doing music and said, "Can we do music for you? We'll do it for free. Just get the punters in," and that's what they did. But of course, that led to punk rock, which in turn ended pub rock. So it's really, really quite interesting. It's really great.
I mean, the band Dr. Feelgood are probably the best of the best.
Oh, definitely.
Then you got Brinsley Schwartz. That was another one, wasn't it? And all stuff like that. Yeah, where Nick Lowe came from. So
exactly. They have a whole thing about Nick Lowe in there.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a lot of the pubs where they played, and you can still feel the energy in there. Even though it's 50 years later, you still feel the sort of like the anticipation of a band coming in and smashing it. Yeah,
exactly. Brilliant. Yeah, that's how I felt when I went into the Hope and Anchor. Man, it's going to be a great show.
We're going to talk some more about the gig in a minute, and because people
will. But first, let's hear from this band. I love this band. They're called the Fish Mittens, right, Paul? You know what I'm talking about. They're a fantastic band. I wanted them to play. They're going to play it hopefully in a future gig. But this song is really interesting. You're going to know what it's about when you see the video. But it's called "Strawberry Jam" by the Fish Mittens.
Crowd below is silent as you hover by the ledge. Policeman tries to talk you down as you step over the edge. started flailing as you plummet to the ground. The crowd gasped as you hit the deck with a funny squelching sound. Now everyone who came to watch might understand, 'cause some felt life and sweet. Not that it matters much to you right now, because you're spread across the street. The bulls have had their fix of death, and now they're going home as they shuffle off in silence past the mushroom broken bone. And when they find that note you left to told the world you're leaving with a bang, they'll think about the things you could have been one day instead of strawberry jam.
Rock. I like Rocky Rock.
Nice.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I
Really
like
good
it.
stuff. I love the guitar in that. That wah, wah, wah is fantastic. And it's got a special place in my heart because I lived in New York City for a while. And I remember one day I was walking up 6th Avenue and I had my Walkman on, I was in my groove. I wasn't paying attention to what's going on. All of a sudden, there's this big crowd and I just like bumped into somebody and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I looked and some guy had jumped from like the 7th floor window or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And all I wish though is I wish I had my tea and toast. I would have gotten some of that strawberry jam. No, it was a kind of traumatic experience, but yeah, I love their imagery, and also love, I love this about punk. I love that they deal with these subjects in a very unique and skewed way to make you think about things in a different way. Really well done. Well done, Fish Mittens.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
And I love the name.
Yeah. Is that a double entendre or a pun or something? Or
I just think they like mittens made of fish.
look at that, like a carp. So you got thumbs.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Should we? Did you want to talk about the gig?
Okay, let's talk about the gig. Now, we're having a live gig for Unknown Sounds is hosting a live gig at the Hope and Anchor in Islington on Upper Street in London. It's on November 5th, so remember the 5th of November. Starts at 7:15, runs to 10:30. We have 4 wonderful bands. It's going to open up with Sunpin Leaves, and then we're going to go straight into Say Yes, Do Nothing, and then the wonderful Unorthodox. Can't wait for them. And Plague UK. So it's gonna be a great night. It's varied music. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And all the ticket sales are gonna be donated to what is it called? Musicians Defend Ukraine Charity Fund. Yeah, because it's something that's dear to our hearts here at Unknown Sounds. We're helping these guys out, and they really need it. It's been a year and a half, and people are still struggling. And they really need our help. So this is something we can do. I'm going to do some interviews for the show as well. In fact, I've done 2. I've interviewed Chris. We tried to get him on here last time. We didn't make it work though because of technicalities. From Sunpin Leaves, Chris Brown from the Sunpin Leaves. So, but we have that. We're going to get that out soon. And I just had a nice chat with Dave Eastman from Say Yes, Do Nothing. Now, I saw these guys at the Camden Academy about last week, and oh my God, they blew me away. I was a little bit nervous because I like the music, but you never know how they're going to be live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And because they're at the show, I want them to be really good. I don't want them to suck. That was the main thing. And man, they did not suck. They were amazing. They're a great, great band. And you'll get once we get that interview out, you'll get a taste of it. It's fantastic. He also, now this is between you and me, Rob. Don't tell anyone else, okay?
Okay.
He wrote a song that is going to go out as a charity single that he's going to perform for the very first time live at our gig, and all the money goes to Musicians Defend Ukraine.
Wow, that's cool.
It's really, you know what, it made me feel so good. And he actually gives us a little taste of it on the interview. It just, I got all choked up. It was beautiful stuff.
That's really cool, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, like we were saying last time, you spoke to some people that are out there doing their thing, and they've got nothing. They've got no body armor, no shoes, pretty much. It's all.
Yeah. It's awful. It's not, you think that, you join the army, you're going to get these things. No, mate. It's at such a state where they need every single thing they need. They need plasters. They need everything. So Musicians Defend Ukraine are helping musicians that are fighting on the front line. So it's something dear to my heart. And we've done special shows for Ukraine, playing only Ukrainian music. And some of those musicians that were on the show have also benefited from Musicians Defend Ukraine. So it is dear to my heart. So it's something that I really believe in. And I'm so glad that we're doing this. And we get to have a great night of music.
We do. Yeah, we get to go out and run around and do stuff. Yeah. In London.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be there. You'll be there. And we'll be taking pictures, and hopefully we're going to try and do a live stream and stuff like that. Oh, thanks, Paul. I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
We call it a show, a podcast, or a stream? What do we call these things?
Who knows?
What's the least pretentious? Is it stream? Should we call it a stream? I'm glad you're enjoying it.
It's a live stream, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Although the older I get, my stream is very inconsistent.
And now you're just topping it up. So can we talk about U2 and The View for a second? Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a bit of footage now, if that's all. We don't need the volume, and we'll get hit with a clause. So this new place has opened up in Las Vegas, and it's basically a football, and it's 3 billion LEDs, and it's on the inside and the outside of the venue. So this is U2 about to come on stage, and this is what it looks like to the audience. So, normally you have screens, don't you, and things like that on the side, what you're used to for the last 30 years. This is now 365-degree experience.
Wow. So
my question to people watching, and yourself, Pete, is this too much? Do you think that music needs this?
Well, it certainly is unique, isn't it? It's really powerhouse. Do
you think it would detract from the music? Because I was...
but you're talking about U2, so it can only help them.
I was speaking to a friend of mine called Jack today, and I said to him, would you go and see this? And he basically said, I'll go and see this just to see the image wall. So not necessarily what's playing, which is fair enough. So, is it good for bands or bad for bands? Because people might just go just to watch the LED screens and what it's doing. And then also, does it then become about the show rather than the band?
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's definitely about the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, I think it's a bad idea. I think sometimes you need just a couple of screens on either side and a band in the middle that you can't see very well.
Yeah.
Rather than a full immersive experience. Later on, they put Bono on it, and you can see him he's huge.
Oh my God. Wow. Who wants that?
So in that sense of view, I think it's fantastic. But at the same time, I don't know if it's worth going, if it's a good experience or not. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on this, what they think. Even if you're watching this as a replay, I'd love your opinions on it. So we know what you think about it. I mean, it does look incredible, doesn't it?
It looks incredible, but I'm old school. I like to experience the music,
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a couple of screens so you can see the bands closer up,
Yeah.
But actually, in real life, I'd rather spend £10 and go see a band in a pub than go into the O2 or anything. Seriously, because you're really part of it,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it can detach a little bit. And
I did read something about Bono that was quite interesting.
Go on.
What did it say? It said, what's the difference between God and Bono?
Go on.
God doesn't walk around thinking he's Bono.
So far you've insulted Courtney, love. Bono.
No, we're just chatting. Just a couple of guys chewing some fat.
So I was going to ask you what song you want next. I did text you, but you didn't read it. So what song do you want next?
No, I'm to it. Well, because we talked about Say Yes, Do Nothing, let's listen to their track. Now, it's really cool. It's a country-ish song. When they do it, when they do it live, they put their cowboy hats on. They get really into it, and the whole audience is dancing along. But they do everything on the cheap. You know, they're up and coming band. So what he did for the video is that he searched drunk Russians dancing. So
Wow.
that's what the video is of. But the song itself is called "Hit the Top" by Say Yes, Do Nothing.
When you're falling down, then you need something to hold on to. I'll be waiting for you at your table, because your friends won't be around, and you know you need some rocket fuel. When you've got a mule kicking in your stable, because you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Now you ain't no philosopher, but you wonder what it's all for, when you know you won't break ground until you're buried. You're like the shark that never drowns, because you're always swimming on, and everything you'll ever have will be temporary, because you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Because you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Oh man, I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed that show. It was so immersive, you know.
Yeah.
Dave is the front. He's the driving force. He writes most of the songs, so they do a lot of collaboration. And he's the singer. He's the main lead singer. Although a few of the other band members as well, they do a great job in their songs as well. But he does not stop. He's jumping around like a freaking maniac. You know, he's loving it. And when I saw him, he broke his string and he couldn't get the guitar back in tune, so he just cast off the guitar about 2/3 through, and he was just going nuts. He was going crazy. It was fantastic, and you could tell that they love each other and they love what they're doing. Everyone has a huge smile on their face, and they're just, you know, you get that knowing look between each other, and it's just so much fun. And he brings you into it as well, so you feel like you're part of the band.
That's fantastic.
It's great. It's like you knew the guy for your whole life.
That's excellent. A massive shout out to Reese, who's watching the stream. So hello, Reese, as well.
Hello,
He's
Reese.
out there in Streamland. I don't really call it, but it's not.
Streamland.
But yeah, so that's fantastic. I mean, it sounds like this lineup's going to be really good for the gigs. So.
Oh, mate, I can't wait for it. And I've been doing a little bit. I'm a little bit nervous about it because I've never done anything like this before. You know, I don't know. Everything's set, so we're definitely having the show. Everybody has all the equipment they need. All the timeline set up, everything's set to go.
Excellent.
We just need an audience now. All right. We're getting donations in. It's fantastic. We're doing really well. And we have, of course, we have interest. I've got a lot of people saying, I'm going to come, I'm going to come, I'm going to come. They're not buying those tickets yet. People have told me, don't worry. They usually do that a week or so, or a few days before the show. But me, I want it to be sold out today so I can rest, you know?
And
So
it's what, £10 on the door and £12.
£10 on the door. No, 10 pound advanced.
Right.
And 12 on the door.
Excellent. We'll put links to the description as well so people can find it.
Yeah.
So you can,
it's
if you
really
can't
easy to get. But I want to tell you what I did today. Oh my goodness. I can't believe this. I decided, I put out a letter for donations to people in the US. And one of them was this guy, Ross Hempworth. He's really an amazing music producer. He's a fantastic guy. And he wrote back and said, you know, thanks for doing this. It's going to be a really good show, blah, 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 blah. And he gave me some advice. He said, really, the best thing to do is to get a celebrity to do some links and stuff on their social media.
Right.
Right. So I've been writing emails all day. I can't tell you how I got these emails, but I did. I got them. And I've been writing to everybody. I probably wrote to 30 or 40 people today.
Okay.
Sending them press releases, pictures, all this stuff. All I wanted was just a little mention on a social media. One person got back to me.
Okay. Who?
And he got back to me very quick, which was amazing. You know, I'm hoping others will in a day or so, but right away. It was a representative of Sir Paul McCartney.
Get out of town.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't go into what he said, but I was made aware that Paul will be in the area on that night. So who knows?
Come on, that'd be incredible.
Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. You know what though? I think Paul loves performing so much, we're going to have to physically stop him from getting up on stage and playing Yesterday.
That's right, yeah. I mean, if you want to see a grown man cry, if he turns up, that's probably what I'd do. Just sob.
Oh man. But no, I was serious. This is true. This is everything I just said is true. So
wow.
This is great. This is great.
Well, I mean, you need to screenshot that so we can share it once you get the little share and stuff. Anyway, so times are pressing. So should we get another song on?
All right, let's get another song on. This one is from Unorthodox, who are also going to be playing at the Open Anchor on November 5th. Their song is called September Soiree, all about a meeting and celebration of a wedding of Brian, the lead singer. So here we go. September Soiree by Unorthodox.
Inside, yeah, expecting you. Mr. Right.
Oh, I thought it was going badoosh. I was waiting for the badoosh to go on.
Oh, it's going to be a great show. They put on a really fun show. I've not seen them yet. I'm going to see them soon. I can't wait, but I've not yet seen them. But I'm sure they're going to be fantastic, like you can see.
I mean, that's fantastic. There's a lot of energy there. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, the drummer Ricky. We've been in contact. We're going to try and get an interview together. So it would be me, Ricky, and Paul.
Yep.
Sorry, Brian, the main singer, the lead singer. So yeah, we're going to get that out as soon as we can get it together. Yeah, I'm going to go see him though. We're going to go down to Brighton, and I'm going to see a fantastic gig in a wonderful venue. It's the Prince Albert.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a cool venue, mate. I was there last time, and just the outside, the mural on the outside of all the music icons, fantastic. But it's going to be 3 great bands. The Dirt Royal, who I love. We played them on many occasions on Unknown Sounds. Unorthodox, and also Plague UK, who was also playing at our gig.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It's fantastic. I had to tell work that I'm going to be, I don't know, I'll have a heart attack or something that week when I come in.
So talking of drummers, if I can indulge myself and play another little snippet from the interview. Is that right? So I was talking to Chris Hughes, the producer of Adamant. Now I love Adamant. I've always loved Adamant. And then Chris was the drummer for Adamant. Then he went off and he produced Tears for Fears, Songs for the Big Chair. So he did Shout and all the big songs off of that, Mad World and stuff like that. But we were talking about him writing Goody and recording Goody Two Shoes with Adamant and how he recorded the drum sound. So I think if you're a drummer, so if you know the song, it goes. Yeah,
fantastic song.
I think if you're a drummer, you're going to find it really interesting.
Oh.
So anyway, this is just Chris Hughes talking about Adamant.
Marco and I and Adam made Goody Two Shoes. Yeah,
that's a fantastic track as well.
I know, and the thing, I'm proud of that track for a load of reasons, but one of the reasons is that we put a set of drums in the middle of the big studio at Abbey Road, you know, the downstairs orchestral studio.
Number one.
Yeah. And I just, we set the drums up and I just head down, belted through. It sounds like a drum loop kind of thing, but I just head down, just belted through that and really liked it. I love the sound of it. I love doing it. And it was like, wow, you know, it was energetic. Yeah. So it was you know, sometimes you do something in the studio and it works out for reasons slightly better or slightly bigger than you imagine.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool that you get firsthand knowledge of this stuff, you know, mate.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's an amazing interview. If you get a chance, subscribe to the channel, check the interview out. He talks about Tears for Fears, and I might save that clip for another stream. So just to play a little clip where he's talking about Tears for Fears and how he wrote. I think it was Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Oh yeah,
like one of the biggest songs, and he basically explains how they wrote it over a weekend. And I don't want to say more because I want to play it to you.
Yeah, no,
find it and watch it. I want to play it maybe next time just to give you a little flavour of that interview. But he's a fantastic producer, and he talked about all the artists he's produced. He wrote a song with Paul McCartney as well. No, he didn't write. Sorry, he produced a song with Paul McCartney as well. And he's just a fantastic guy, an amazing producer. When you find out what he's been on and what he's done, you don't realise he's behind some of the biggest tracks.
Yeah.
And he was such a lovely guy. We recorded on a Wednesday, I think. No, a Thursday. No, it was a Tuesday. So it was a Tuesday, Tuesday morning. And then for some reason, the internet didn't want to work that day. And then I got in contact with him and did it on the Friday. And he said, hopefully this is the same jumper, because he didn't want to mess the continuity of the video up. And what a nice gesture.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, he thought about it. That's great. I love that picture of Studio One as well, mate.
Oh, yeah, I thought I'd throw that in when I was...
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Isn't that where the Beatles did their satellite broadcast of All You Need Is Love?
It is indeed, yeah. And I went to see the bootleg Beatles on Tuesday night at the Royal Albert Hall. And if you've ever seen those, they're fantastic. But the new lineup they've got is just amazing. The George, in particular, was literally born in a test tube. He's got the same bone structure, the same height, the same... Wow. I mean, he's almost a better guitar player than George as well, but dare I say. But he's just got such an amazing technique, and he just looks like him the minute he walks out. It's incredible. Yeah. And
that's great, yeah.
It was great.
I saw them years ago at the Albert Hall. Yeah. So what, they're all new members? I guess they just died of old age.
Yeah, it's the what's it, the conspiracy theory where they all died and swapped them out.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. But no, they were amazing, absolutely amazing. And they did Obla Dee Obla Da, which is still one of the greatest Beatles songs. I don't get what anyone says, it's brilliant. Yeah. So if you get a chance to see the bootlegs, go and see those as well. We have a message there. There we go. Lovely. Simon there, Unorthodox, if you're reading this, that's a lovely compliment for you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Bird's Nest in Deptford. I was supposed to go there. I couldn't make it, but I wish I could have done.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for your comment there, Simon. Like anyone else, like Simon, if you want to just comment, just put it on the bottom there. We can put it on the screen for you. Okay, so time is pressing. So
okay, we got one more video. We're not going to let you go without playing the wonderful, the wonderful Plague UK, who are also going to be playing at the gig on November 5th. So what do you want is the name of this song. It's a lot of fun. They're from South London. They do pop punk. So let's have a listen to that from Plague UK.
December, walk along the lonely carriage, on the ice, just stare at the hands, the ones and the zeros, do not breed any heroes, all the ones and the zeros, do not breed any heroes. So what do you want now? So what do you want? So what do you want now? All I want is full of breeze. All the shoes I shop, all the pavement, all the faces that look so vacant, all the ones and the zeros, do not breed any heroes. So what do you want now? So what do you want? So what do you want now? All I want is full of greed. So what do you want now? So what do you want? So what do you want now? All I want is full of greed. Back on the lonely carriage, further down to my advantage. Empty space between the cracks. Get off the journey, still intact. Just another day to remember, waking up in the cold of December. Walk along our lonely carriage, all the ice, just stare at the hands. So what do you want now? So what do you want? So what do you want now? All I want is full of greed. So what do you want now? So what do you want? So what do you want now? All I want is full of greed.
Wow. It reminds me of like XTC and the Jam.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely got that vibe. It's really great. Oh man,
It's definitely.
I'm so excited about this show. It's going to be great, isn't it, mate? You've heard all the bands that are going to be playing. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good laugh. So there'll be links in the description below for anyone that wants to buy tickets, and obviously to donate as well. But obviously having people in the room jumping up and down, sweating is the goal. That's what we're aiming at. We want people to sweat.
We want everyone there.
Yeah,
We'll be taking off our tops, rubbing each other.
that'll just be Pete on his own. So
Yeah. That's a normal night for me.
yeah, and the band starts at 8. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's really going to be great. So I hope you guys get your tickets. Come on down. It's for a great cause, but even more than that, it's going to be a lot of fun.
fantastic. Thank you for your nice comment there, Mick. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. And if you enjoyed the show, please share it and tell your friends about it. We're going to try and do this more often, aren't we, Pete?
Yeah,
And do
we're going to try and do it. Yeah.
a regular thing. So, well, I think we'll wrap it up there because we've had such a good time. We might as well
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I really enjoyed it. Nice.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been great fun. So thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends all about it. Subscribe to both channels, and we'll see you all on the next one, hopefully.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.